One of my subscribers asked me if it is true that someone can come to New Zealand on a visitor visa, then change to a work visa. This is not the first time I've been asked that question, so I thought I should address this topic. Is it possible for you to come to New Zealand on a visitor visa and then you change to a work visa? If so, what kind of visa can you change to? What's up everyone, it's the Sassy Engineer. If you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome. Subtle reminder to click the subscribe button to join the community. Before I go any further, I'd just like to remind you that this is not an immigration advice. It's something that I know from researching the internet and reading immigration websites. So you too can learn about it by going on the immigration website and reading about it. Okay, now to the question, is it possible for you to come to New Zealand on a visitor visa and then change to a work visa? It is possible for that to happen. I've talked about visitor visa on my channel, how you can apply, the things you need, and what you can do with that visa. So I would advise that you check out that visa to know your limitations. But yeah, if you come to New Zealand on a visitor visa, it is possible for you to change to work visa. However, you need to convince the visa officer that your intent of applying for visitor visa meets the requirement for the visitor visa. Otherwise, you're not going to get the visitor visa. Okay? That's the first thing you should know. The visa officer needs to be convinced that you have genuine intention. So what type of work visa can you apply for? I have talked about the different types of work visas, especially the ones that can give you residency on my channel. So check out those videos. One example of a visa that you can apply for while you are in New Zealand on a visitor visa is the supplementary seasonal employment work visa. With this visa, you can work for an employer that is approved. You can stay for 6 months and you need to be 18 years and above to apply for this visa. This visa was designed to help employers to supplement their workforces with non-New Zealand citizens or residents that are already in New Zealand during the peak labor demand. There's a quota which is decided every season and it only costs from $700. So you can apply for this visa if you are already in New Zealand on a student visa or a visitor visa and you want to do some seasonal work. So this work will be in the horticulture or the viticulture industries. How you can find employers would be simply clicking this link here, supplementary seasonal employer list. This one is for recognized seasonal employer limited visa, which I've talked about in another video. So if we click this list here, it's going to open and you would have a list of employers. There are a total of 41 that can employ you for this supplementary seasonal employment work visa. So you can see more here and this shows you the approval period. So they are approved up to November. If you open this list, it takes you to the map. Some of them have the website where you can click on to apply for vacancies. So you can look for the ones that have website or you can copy the name and go to your web browser, paste it and search for jobs. That's how you can find employers that are approved to employ people and support them for the supplementary seasonal employment work visa. What are the eligibility criteria and what kind of supporting documents do you need to provide for this visa? So of course you have to give your proof of identity, you must be in good health, you must be of good character. So they said you may need, it's possible that you will not need, especially if you're on a visitor visa that is a short period of time. You may not need it, but if you need it, you'll be asked to give it. You must show that you genuinely intend to meet the conditions of your visa and you have to provide evidence to support this. You can find out more information here. Of course, you have to be 18 years and over. Your proof of document identity will already confirm your age. You must be in New Zealand. So you must already be in New Zealand before you can apply for this visa. And their evidence will show. You must hold a current student visa or visitor visa. Again, they have these records, they will check it. And you need to have this job. So this is all about the job details. You have to include the evidence of the job offer from an eligible employer. That employer has to be from that list that you have seen there. These are some examples of the kind of documents that you must show as evidence to support your seasonal jobs. That employer must have the approval to employ overseas workers to do seasonal work. You must have a ticket to leave the country or show that you have enough money to buy one. That is mandatory. Something to note here is that you will only be granted this visa once. So that means that if you've had it before, you cannot apply for it again. That is something else that you have to note. Another thing you should note here is that you cannot include your partner or dependent children in this visa application. And you can only apply if you currently hold a visitor or student visa. So these are some things that you should note when you are applying for this work visa. This is the process of applying for this work visa, but the first thing you need will be a job. So look at this list and get the employers that you're interested in. Search on their website for jobs. Otherwise, you can use the recruitment agents that I've talked about on my channel, or you use the 8 ways to find a job that again I've talked about on my channel. Then once you see the job you like, you apply for it. If the employers are interested, they would offer you a job. You will send your application to IANZ. This application is done by paper. So you get the application form, your application fee, immigration levy, and all your supporting documents and send it to this address. It costs $700. So if you click here and see how to submit applying on paper, once they get the application, they will go through it, and if there's anything they need, they will be in touch. Then they make a decision on your application. You can only work doing this kind of jobs in the horticulture, viticulture industries, and it's only for 6 months. And once you get this visa, you cannot get another one. You can study. You must have a ticket to leave the country, and you must leave New Zealand before your visa expires. Now remember the thing to notice: you can apply for this visa if you currently hold a visitor or student visa. You cannot include your partner or dependent children in this your visa application, and you can only be granted this visa once, which means that you can't apply for it if you've gotten it before, and you can't apply for it if you have already had a work visa since your last visit to New Zealand. Another type of seasonal employment visa is the recognized seasonal employment limited visa, but for this one you must have a job offer before you can apply. I hope this video helps. As you can see, it's really limited to people looking for work in the horticulture and the viticulture areas. Do like this video by giving it a thumbs up, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and recommend it to people who need it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Thanks, and see you later. Bye now.
Hello, you don't even know my name, but I